Hello. Gonna wait and see if anyone jumps on for a second. I need to put something in front of that. Everyone's probably still at work, so we may not have anyone on live. So I'll probably just start. So I know the blog went out today, and let's see, pull up my notes. Okay, so we know that Instagram has been huge for any business, really. I know a lot of even brick and mortar businesses have it, but I myself am with network marketing, so Instagram has been huge for me. So a little bit about my story, just really quick so you kind of understand. I started with network marketing 3 years ago, and when I started, I was going to school full-time, and I was working full-time, and I have kids and a husband and everything else, so I was always like super busy, so I needed to make this business work, but I needed to make it work without just doing parties or without just doing in-person things. So I'm a double diamond with It Works Global. I've been with them for 3 years. But basically, I didn't really know. I mean, I was on social media. I was on Instagram and Facebook already, but it was just, just for fun. Like, I would post on there and add people on there that I knew and stuff like that. Like, I just posted on Facebook. I was young. I didn't really know what I had my hands on until I started the business and I started posting a little bit on Facebook, just more or less like my own personal results with like the wrap and stuff. And people were blowing me up. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, with the company, I grew really quick. Like within a year, I had quit my job, and then a couple months later, I retired my husband, and I've just been doing this ever since full time, just from pretty much social media. I mean, I've done a few parties here and there, and I've done, a couple expos and stuff like that, but 90%, if not 95%, has just been social media. So when I started, I did Facebook, a little bit of Facebook. That's pretty much how I grew my business. So on Instagram, I had, I don't know, maybe a few hundred followers. So I didn't really know what I was doing on there. I just kind of posted every now and then, and just threw up some horrible pictures and graphics or whatever that It Works had. So it was just, I don't know, it was just a little crazy. But one day, I was playing around on YouTube, and I seen just like an Instagram training. It was something basic. It was just like why you need to be on Instagram or something like that, and how they got some customers from there. So I kind of watched it, and then I started like really digging into okay, well, let me post this and see if this works. Okay, let's try this. Let's start following some people. Like, I really just started playing around with it, and then all of a sudden I had like within probably like 5 or 6 months, I ended up with like 6,000 or 7,000 followers, and I was like, okay, this is going somewhere. So I really started diving into, like, even back then, I was just kind of growing my following, but still didn't know what to post or when to post or anything like that. So I really just started diving into that. What should I post on here? What's getting the most likes? What's really attracting people? What's making these people want to follow me back? Because I've built organically on Instagram. I followed my own people and got them to follow me back. I used some hashtags. But up until recently, I had never used like anything like Instagram or nothing like that. So I really just did everything on my own. So, let's go to I know you all are getting a freebie, and it's basically just creating your Instagram profile. So it's basically like all my tips for this week on what you should do, like how to attract people to your Instagram. So let me pull up that part. Okay, so basically, there are 6 things that people see when they get to your Instagram, like the first initial 6 things that affect whether they're going to follow you or not follow you, or, turn on post notifications, or, just say that, I'm not vibing with this girl, I don't really want to follow her. So, the first 6 things, is really just, what they see when they get to your page, and it's, the first impression is everything. If you, I don't know, you don't even have to be a judgmental person, but if you're out, I don't know, at a party, or you're out in public or whatever, and you really are drawn to a certain person and the way they look, or the way that they're talking, or how friendly they are, you know what I mean? Like, you just you can vibe with somebody. So, it's kind of the same thing when they get to your Instagram. If it's, real dark and gloomy, or, there's cussing, or, whatever is on there that's just not very attractive to them, they're not going to follow you. So let's talk about the first 6 things. The first thing is your username. So this is really important, because if it's something crazy, 9 times out of 10 people are not going to follow you. So if it's something like, let me think of a crazy example. Well, for one, I'll use my company. If somebody lands on my page and it works raps with Krissa, people are not going to follow me, because automatically they're seeing, oh crap, she's an It Works girl, she's trying to sell me something, like I'm not trying to follow her and be sold to. They automatically know that it's a business. So why would they follow me when maybe they have other It Works people on their stuff, or maybe they just think that they're not interested. So that's one big thing. It doesn't need to be anything crazy like I said, It Works, or I don't know, I'm trying to think of something crazy like 15 different names, or all kinds of, I know that you can't use a whole lot of symbols, but like different periods in between every little thing, like Queen, nothing crazy like Queen Bay, or I don't know, I really don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but something crazy that people would just think, okay, no, there's no reason for me to follow this chick. So username is really, really important, and the biggest thing is you want to give people a reason to follow you. So I suggest using your name, just because that's what people are going to search you by, for one. If they really, really liked your page, and, they want to turn post notifications on or whatever, as soon as it says oh, Krissa, like mine's Krissa Leah. So, oh, Krissa just posted something on Instagram. Let me go see what it is. Like, your name, your username is what's going to pop up on these people's stuff saying, okay, go check out her live. So that's really, really huge. If it's something crazy and you're changing it all the time, they're not going to know who it is. And they're going to think, why am I even following them? Well, I'm not going to go check out what she just posted, or what she just went live, or whatever. So I always suggest it being, something you're comfortable with, and something that people would know you by. So if it's something like if mine was, I don't know, Bree's name, if my Instagram was Bree Long, and people were looking for Krissa, how are they going to find me? It's not going to come up, because my name is Bree on Instagram, you know what I mean? So, that's really, really huge. People need to know if they're looking for you, or, like I said, if they're just searching your page because they want to go see what you're talking about, it needs to be something that you're good with, you're comfortable with, and that people are going to find you with. So, let's see. It can also be like your business name, and like I said, it works, like when it comes to network marketing and stuff. I see Sarah's on here. People don't necessarily want to follow, if Sarah's was Plexus with Sarah, that's not something that people are drawn to, and they're not really going to want to follow that page. But if it's your brick and mortar business, or your blog or something like that, then, that's acceptable. That's something different. It's not something that everyone's going to have. So, I have a second Instagram. It's called, it says Boss Mom Diaries. It's something that can pull people in, but it's not necessarily anything crazy either. So your name, we kind of covered that a little bit with username. So you need to have something that people are going to know you or search you by. So like you can put Krista, like mine could be Krista Smith, but I have mine as health and wealth coach because that's what people are searching on Instagram. So if they get on Instagram, they're like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try and get healthy, or oh, I need to make some money. Like they're going to be searching health coaches or health, anything to do with health. And guess what? I'm going to pop up. So that's really, really big. And even adding like an emoji into it can make it draw your attention. Like on Facebook, if we could do that on Facebook, if I had Krista Smith with a little pink heart, people might be more drawn to that. On Instagram, we can do that. So that's really, really huge for that to stand out over, like, say there's 15 Krista Smiths. If mine has a pink heart beside it, it might really stand out to them. So the next is profile pic. So this is really, really important because of image. Like I said, if you're out in public and you see someone that's really, really pretty or really, like, someone that really draws your attention, you're going to want to talk to them over someone that, like, looks is homeless, but, like, looks homeless and looks a hot mess and is not smiling, or, their first impression just doesn't really, like, it's not someone that you're going to go up to and be, they don't really look like energetic or really friendly. So it's the same thing with your profile pic. It needs to be clear. It needs to be, not necessarily bright if that's not your thing, but it needs to be able, like, if it's your face, they need to be able to see your face. And you don't need to be, like, sticking your tongue out in your profile picture, or, be you, but make it more professional. Even if you're not running, like, this huge professional business, it needs to be professional because you need to be able to attract people just from your profile picture. If they're scrolling down, newsfeed or whatever, or someone that follows you, one of the first things they see is your profile picture and your name. So your profile picture needs to be really, really clear, and really pretty. It needs to be you. Let's see. If you're running a business, it can be your logo. So it just depends. Like, when people think of your business, do they think of your logo and your colors, or do they think of your face? So that's the biggest thing. Like, a headshot or, a selfie, something like that is almost always best because they're going to be thinking of you when they think of your business. With, like, Coca-Cola, Nike, Reebok and stuff like that, they're going to see their symbol and know that that's them. But with your own personal brand, they're going to want to see you. Next is bio. So basically your bio needs to be something that sums up what you do, and you need to exhibit some brand personality. So on mine, like, before I just revamped everything because I just came out with, we just launched my website and all that stuff. But before, just when I kept it simple and didn't really know a whole lot of Instagram or didn't know what to put on there, it was still, like, I had emojis. I had, like, what I do. I had, like, mom to 3, wifey, with emojis with it, girl boss, stuff that's going to relate to people. So my tips with that are use emojis, use slogans or tags that you want to be known for. So mine said, like, wake, pray, slay on mine, for a while. Use some humor. So, you can put on there something that you really, something that's funny and something that you really live by. Give people a reason to follow you. So why should they follow you? Are they going to see, like, okay, she's a boss mom of 3, like, she's a wifey, like, I can relate to all that. Is she a Christian? Anything that you put in your bio is going to just draw people in a little more. And then vertical spacing. So one tip with this is you can't do it on Instagram. You have to do it, like, in your notes or, like a note app or something like that. I have an iPhone, so we have the notepad in our phone automatically. So you can go in there and, like, type everything that you need to do, and you can space it, like, the vertical spacing on top of each other. And then copy and paste it into Instagram. So it'll go in there and it'll stay that way. So that's one tip with that. A couple other things that I have, like, notes I have jotted down is, like, follow other people or take a look at other influencers in your market that are, like, that have a catching bio. Don't duplicate them or copy them or anything else, but it gives you an idea. So maybe like Brie is the top graphic designer ever, and I'm just interested in, seeing what she does to draw in attention. So I'll go to her bio and see what she does and see what she's about. And, maybe take some tips from that and make it mine. So you can use them as inspiration. This was just like an example. Carrie Wilkerson, Lord. She uses a series of objectives to describe herself. So, encourager, joy spreader, speaker, business growth strategist. So all that is like really, really good, and it pulls people in and it shows what she does. Jewelry business. Okay. This is like a call to action in her bio. So sometimes, like, I'll change mine around. It says, like, get my freebie at, and it'll point down to my website. But this just says, like, jewelry business experts, mentors to jewelry designers, free trainings, online courses. Join us for free on our 14-day virtual sales amplifier bootcamp. And it'll have their link. So people know what they're doing, and they can go to that link to check it out and see if they're interested. Both ways work. It just comes down to your branding and your personality, or what you have going on right now. Like, if you're trying to sell some makeup for a big sale or whatever, then, talk about that. Talk about your freebies that you're giving out, stuff like that. Lastly, the biggest thing is on your link to have a, what's it called? Lord, I can't even think today. Your link to your website. So it needs to be, a link to your direct website. And if you can't do that, or if you don't have a website, then that's fine too. Mine for a long time before I got my website was my Facebook link, like my actual profile link to Facebook. So that way, like, if people came to my Instagram and they really liked what I was posting or what I was doing, I got them off Instagram to my Facebook. And, they would message me and say, hey, I've followed you on Instagram for so long, I wanted to be your friend on Facebook too. So that's really, really good. Like, it leads them to another social media site. So you can have their contact there as well. Yeah, and that's the same thing with growing your mailing list, your freebies, or whatever. You can put that link in there. So, lastly, just, to create your Instagram profile, you'll have this freebie when you sign up for it, but it basically breaks down. Let me go to it really quick. So it'll show you can brainstorm your bio. So all the things that we talked about, you can put some ideas right there. What are some words to describe yourself and that your tribe would relate to? You can put those in there. What picture will you use? Find a rockin' selfie, or take it to the next level with a professional headshot, or your logo, whatever you're doing. And then we can write your epic bio below. So create I'm struggling today. Create your irresistible call to action to your bio. So all these things is just the ideas to kind of pull it together, so you can sit and brainstorm and say, okay, maybe I want to put this in my bio. Maybe I want to talk about this, or maybe I should use this profile picture. So this is just like a little freebie worksheet that you can throw on there, and or that you can print out and you can fill it out or whatever, and start working on your Instagram. Every week I'll be coming on here on Fridays, probably in the evenings next time, but my daughter has a game tonight. But every week I'll come on here and I'll talk about some Instagram tips or some social media tips, and we'll really take it to the next level. This was kind of just like an intro to get you started. So you can, if you don't have an Instagram, you can go ahead and make you one and get working on that. And you can, this will help you create your whole Instagram profile, or you can go back and rebrand and redo everything. So that's totally up to you. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. Okay. So basically, if you all have any questions, you can ask them now, and I can answer them. Make sure you go get the freebie and sign up. I know we'll have tons and tons of more training about this. This is literally just, how I have grown my Instagram following. I have over 13K followers, almost 14, and this was just like the simple things that I've done to attract the right people. You know, beyond, like, we'll talk more about how I attracted these followers, but this is basically like, once I got them to my page, what drew them in to actually follow me. Because, you know, I can follow people all day, every day. Lord, everything keeps falling. But I can attract people all day, every day. But if my profile isn't, you know, attractive itself, then they're not going to want to follow me. So that's one of the biggest things. So make sure you implement some of these tips that I've given you. Print out that sheet and get, you know, get ready to rock your Instagram. I mean, like I said, we're going to have tons and tons of tips every single week to help you out. I'm not sure if I don't see any comments if anybody's asking any questions, but it may, I know Facebook Lives have been messing up and can't, you know, sometimes you can't see the comments. So, like I said, if you have questions, just comment below and I'll go in and answer any questions that you all have after we end this. And I hope that those tips helped you all. I know next week we'll dive more and more into it, and by the end of the month we'll be killing it on Instagram. So, bye guys!